Since the introduction of Juno and the nerf to a lot of the more mobile heroes from 250 health to 225 health, alongside other nerfs and buffs this season, the meta has shifted a little bit towards the more traditional dive comp. Less people are playing D.Va because of the nerf to defense matrix, which is great because the end of last season was miserable. It got so boring queuing for a solid 10 minutes only to get put into a match with an enemy D.Va that the rest of the team absolutely refused to counterpick, so you just go on a massive loss streak and D-rank a couple of times. I say this as if I didn't play a lot of D.Va last season too, but you would have done the same given the state of the last few weeks of Season 11. Anyway, the meta has changed for the better, and in this video I'm going to be giving you the rundown of both what to expect in comp and sometimes even in quick play, and what you should play into the meta to counter it. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as I want to continue making Overwatch 2 related content that's not only entertaining, but educational too. Also, thanks for 700 subscribers. I actually reached 700 subs on Friday when that video was still uploading, so that's why I didn't say anything about it in that video, and instead I'm talking about it now. In the YouTube scene, 700 subs seems like nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, it is pretty damn big. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for letting the channel come this far. Now, enough yapping, let's get into the video. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through role by role, starting with tanks. Now, personally, I've been seeing a lot of Winston recently, which is really cool because I feel like he's a little bit underappreciated, especially in the lower ranks. He's absolutely brilliant now because of the health nerfs to a lot of other heroes, and he pairs really well with Juno for the same reasons that he pairs really well with Ana. They can play at their effective ranges and both get value out of it, with Juno even being able to speed boost him on the initial dive. On top of practically ignoring shields, he's super mobile, and that's what makes him good in the current meta because the games are getting a lot more fast paced now. To counter this as a tank yourself, you can stop pretty much all momentum by playing Hog and hooking enemies coming in on the dive, especially Winston because you can easily out heal and out damage him in the 1v1. As a DPS, Cassidy's nade makes it so you can stop him from dipping from the fight, meaning that you can gun him down much more effectively. You might not kill him outright, but you're going to do a lot of damage, especially with the fan the hammer and roll combo. As a support, Ana. Just Ana. Obvious reasons really. Sleep is super handy into the dive, and Anti just puts the cherry on top of it. Now with DPS, it's kind of stayed the same as last season, with dive heroes like Sombra and Tracer being very popular, as well as slightly more ranged characters like Cassidy and Ashe. Yet Cassidy isn't popular because he's ranged, but more so because his nade shuts down the dive with ease. The combination of both dive and mid to far ranged heroes works really well, because the dive heroes like Tracer up front almost act like a kite for the far ranged heroes like Ashe, allowing them to get easy picks whilst the enemy team is focused on the Tracer. She's all up in their face, so the likeliness of them spotting the Ashe on the high ground in the back sniping them is pretty low, meaning she can play it safe and get a lot of value out of it. Even if she's not actually killing anything, she's getting up her ult percentage ready for when they need to use it in a fight. To counter this, you kinda just play a similar thing. Match the range and playstyle and it will be an even fight. If you really need to, you can play Hog to hook the ranged heroes out of position to get an easy pick and make your team have one less thing to worry about. Last but not least, we have supports, which has changed a fair bit since Iliari got nerfed. She's still played here and there, but obviously Juno has come into the limelight since her release because she deals a bunch of healing and damage with both her Medi Blaster and homing torpedoes on the dive. Where people used to play Lucio Kiri or Lucio Ana, they're now playing Juno Kiri or Juno Ana. Lucio is still amazing, don't get me wrong. He does 22 damage per shot now, and his ult is super useful for very obvious reasons. But Juno has a higher healing output whilst being able to do pretty much everything that Lucio can do, excluding Boop, but that ability doesn't really matter because it's been hard neutered. To counter this, you can either play high damaging ranged heroes or dive heroes like Tracer and Reaper, just with more caution. Diving a Juno is okay because she can't really do too much outside of running away, but diving a Kiri can be dangerous because it's easier for her to hit headshots if you're up close. Whilst yes, she doesn't do 2.5 times damage on a crit anymore, her base damage got buffed to 60, so her crits do 120 damage. Yeah, it wasn't really enough. I don't see why they did this. But that just about does it for this video. So to summarize, the fundamentals of the meta haven't really changed, but the heroes played have. It's still a dive comp meta, but with different heroes like Winston and Juno in the mix, since they synergize really well with the rest of the team. You might still run into D.Va and Pharah here and there because they're still pretty strong, but in that case, just do absolutely everything in your power to absolutely counterpick the ever-loving fuck out of them. They're so annoying and they deserve the absolute worst. Play literally anything else. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm gonna ask you to like this video as it lets me know that you find these videos not only to be helpful, but entertaining. Hopefully you now understand what this season's meta is and how to counter it. The easy answer is Hog. It's always Hog. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.